This is the story of a man who lived in the shadows of the world, convinced that his clock had already run out. He had no degree, a mountain of debt, and a heart heavy with the weight of someday. But then, he discovered a crack in the universe. He learned that the world doesn't start at 9 a.m. It is won at 4:30 a.m. In just 100 days, his entire life completely changed. What he did in those quiet hours will shock you, and it might just be the answer you have been searching for. Before we start, I want to ask you something. What time are you listening to this right now, and where in the world are you? Drop a comment below and let me know. Also, please like and subscribe if you're ready to reclaim your life. In a city that never stops moving, there lived a 38-year-old man named Elias. Elias worked as a night shift cleaner at the massive central train station. Every evening at 8 p.m., he grabbed his mop and began his shift. Every morning at 5:30 a.m., drained and hollow, he walked home to collapse. His salary was a pittance, barely covering a cramped, one-room apartment where the walls felt cold and the air felt heavy. He slept on a thin mattress. His only luxury was a small window that looked out onto a brick wall. But Elias suffered from something worse than poverty. He felt like a ghost. Every morning as he walked home, past the waking city, he saw life happening through the glowing windows of others. He saw fathers laughing with their children over breakfast, and professionals in crisp suits stepping into the light of a new day. Elias would whisper to himself, "Is this my permanent loop? To retreat into darkness, just as the rest of the world begins to shine?" He had tried to escape. He applied for better roles, but without a formal education, the gates were locked. He wanted to learn, but after 12 hours on his feet, his brain was too foggy to function. His daughter Maya lived with his sister in a nearby town. On their weekly calls, she would ask, "Papa, when will you come home for good? I want to show you my school projects." Elias would swallow the lump in his throat and say, "Soon, little one. Papa is building something." But deep down, he knew he was building nothing but a grave for his dreams. The turning point came on a freezing Tuesday in November. Elias's phone rang as he was leaving the station. It was his sister. Maya had been hospitalized with a severe fever. His heart stopped. He spent his last bit of savings on a bus ticket. When he reached the clinic, he saw Maya, small and pale, clutching a drawing of a house with a garden. She whispered, "I drew this for us, Papa, but you're always sleeping when the sun is out." In that moment, something inside Elias shattered, not with grief, but with a cold, sharp anger at his own stagnation. He stepped outside the clinic into the pre-dawn chill. It was exactly 4:30 a.m. The village was silent, but a few workers were already heading to the fields. The air was electric. Standing there, Elias made a silent vow. "No more," he whispered. "I will find a way, or I will perish trying." On the bus ride back, Elias noticed an elderly woman sitting across from him. She was elegantly dressed, reading a complex book on architectural design. Elias recognized her as Sarah, a legendary developer who had built half the skyline in the city. He gathered his courage and asked, "Ma'am, why are you awake so early?" Sarah smiled, her eyes sharp and wise. "Because the hours between 4:30 and 6:30 a.m. are the golden gap, Elias. This is when the world is quiet enough for you to hear your own greatness. Most people wake up to react to the world. I wake up to create it, but I work all night, Elias said. I'm exhausted. Sarah leaned in. Then change your rhythm. Sleep the moment you get home. Wake up at 10:30 a.m. That gives you 5 hours of survival sleep. Then, use the next 2 hours to build your bridge. Use the silence. She handed him a card. If you're serious, meet me at the station cafe tomorrow. But don't come if you're just a dreamer. I only help architects. Elias met her. Sarah drew a simple diagram of a foundation. Your life is a house that's currently falling down. You spend all day fixing the roof, but you've ignored the foundation. The foundation is built in the early hours. She gave him the math. 2 hours a day is 14 hours a week. That's over 700 hours a year, equivalent to 3 extra months of pure productivity. This was the system. Hour 1, from 4:30 to 5:30, is for high-value skill building. Elias chose digital illustration, using a cheap used tablet and free online courses. Hour 2, from 5:30 to 6:30, is for the body and mind. Movement to flush the toxins, and meditation to plan the man he wanted to become. The first month was a battle. His body screamed for rest. His co-workers at the station mocked him, calling him the professor as he studied design during his breaks. But Elias remembered Maya's drawing. By day 50, something shifted. He wasn't, quote, 8 to draw. He was a designer who happened to clean. He began creating complex blueprints and digital art that captured the unique light of the dawn he had watched for years. On day 90, Elias used his new skills to create a digital reorganization plan for the station's logistics terminal. He presented it to the manager. The manager was stunned. "Where did you learn to map systems like this?" "In the silence," Elias replied. He was offered a coordinator role in the main office, a day shift position with triple his old salary. 1 year later, Elias moved Maya into a home with the very garden she had drawn. Every morning at 4:30 a.m., he is still awake. Not because he has to be, but because that time is sacred. He tells his team, success isn't a destination. It's a daily practice that begins before the sun. My friend, Elias' story is proof that the difference between who you are and who you want to be is found in the hours everyone else is wasting. The world is quiet at 4:30. Your willpower is at its peak. This is your challenge. Tonight, set your alarm. Put your phone across the room. Decide what you will build. I promise you, if you use those 2 hours with purpose, your life will not look the same. You will become someone different, stronger, more disciplined, and more capable of achieving anything. Your second life starts in the silence. Do not make your future self wait any longer. If this story moved you, like, subscribe, and comment, I am awake. Share it with someone who needs to stop waiting and start today.